Here we are at the end of the season, and you Warlocks have been kind of holding out on me. I started playing around with a certain build that I wanted to play around with at the beginning of the season, and found out that it's really, really good, and I haven't seen anybody talk about this all season, because they've been too busy using this helmet with Strand, but I promise you that using it with Solar is still just as good. So like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to join our Discord for the giveaway when I hit 1,000 subs, and we're going to have a quick word. The exotic that I'm talking about is Verity's Brow, which comes with the perk The Fourth Magic. Weapon final blows with a damage matching your subclass energy grants death throws, which provides a grenade damage bonus and grants you grenade energy. When you have death throws and throw a grenade, nearby allies gain greatly increased grenade regeneration for a short time. So weapon kills with a matching subclass element will grant us a stack of death throws for 11 seconds with a maximum of 5 stacks. Death throws will grant us 50% additional base grenade recharge rate and 20% increased grenade damage per stack, and with 5 stacks that means you can get a maximum of 250% grenade recharge rate and 100% increase to our grenade damage. When we throw a grenade, allies receive Field of Flame within 20 meters of us, and Field of Flame grants 1000% additional base grenade recharge rate. This exotic is amazing for solo builds and even has a good place when running with teams. Now when they say the base grenade recharge rate, that is at tier 3. Tier 3 is the base rate for all of our abilities. That is where the timer matches what they tell us what it is, and then it gets reduced from there. I don't know the scaling for 1000% off of a base grenade recharge rate, but I'm going to assume that's a lot. And to get to those max stacks for the maximum benefits as quickly as possible, I recommend rapid fire weapons or weapons that just hit hard, or both. I ended up using Tommy's Matchbook, which I forgot even existed. This exotic auto rifle comes with the perks Ignition Trigger. Sustained fire with this weapon overheats it, increasing damage but burning the user. It also comes with Heat Sink. Overheat damage is reduced while not aiming down sights, and it also has a catalyst, Heat of the Moment. While Ignition Trigger is active, your health recovers much faster. With all these traits and its 100 round mag, this auto rifle played very well with this build, especially in combo with one of our fragments we're going to go over later. However, as much as I really liked this auto rifle for this particular build, I felt like it was still missing something, and I wish it had better synergy with our Solar 3.0 subclass things. I wish it could scorch when overheated. I wish that it could just do more with our Solar subclass, because it is really a fun gun to use. So if you don't have Tommy's Matchbook, or you don't want to use Tommy's Matchbook, SMGs are really, really good, or you can use fusion rifles. Anything that's got a lot of ammo, puts out that ammo really fast, or something that hits really hard. Machine guns are also a really good option for this build. Moving on to our artifact, we're going to take our normal selection for our firebolt based builds, which is going to start with solar and grenade authorization unlocked, so we can get more out of our grenade and solar mods, which we are of course going to use plenty of in this build. Solar surge, so fire sprites that we collect will give us a single stack of armor charge, which is going to help greatly when talking about our armor mods. Flare up, so our fire bolts apply more scorch, as well as making a fire sprite when they hit a target, which will again make solar surge very, very good. And finally, we have rain of firebolts just to give us an extra firebolt grenade. This will make our firebolts feel really, really good in combination with touch of flame. This will increase the potency of our firebolt grenades, as it will give them increased search radius, and the maximum target count will also be increased. In short, we can hit more targets with our firebolt grenades. I also took Icarus Dash, which gives us the ability to do the air dash. You can swap this for heat rises if you so wish. For our fragments, I decided to go with Ember of Resolve. Solar final blows will cure you. Ember of Eruption. Solar ignitions have an increased area of effect with 10 strength. Ember of Blistering, defeating targets with solar ignitions will give us grenade energy. And Ember of Combustion, getting solar super final blows causes targets to ignite and create a fire sprite with a plus 10 to strength. With these fragments, our firebolt final blows will cure us, which will give us a ton of survivability, as with death throws, we are just about guaranteed a final blow with them. Also, with flare up increasing our scorch with firebolts, we will be causing ignitions pretty much all the time, which will be better for us in combination with eruption and blistering. Also, speaking of blistering, the grenade energy we get from this is extremely helpful with everything else we have going on. Finally, with Ember of Combustion, we are using Will of Radiance, and solar weapon final blows inside the well count as super final blows, meaning that with Tommy's matchbook, we can get a bunch of defeats against red bars and cause multiple ignition, which again will play heavily into eruption, making those ignition effects bigger, and it'll play heavily into blistering so we can get more grenade energy out of it, which then in turn will also give us our cure from Ember of Resolve, which isn't too crazy when you're standing inside of a well. Now this is all good, but of course is supported heavily by our armor mods. So starting with our helmet, we have double ashes to assets, as we'll be throwing a ton of grenades so we can get a bunch of energy as well, feeding back into our Well of Radiance, so this way we can make more use of Ember of Combustion. I took Font of Wisdom. This is a personal choice of mine due to my intellect, with my armor only being at 27, so the plus 30 from this was extremely helpful. If you don't need this, I always recommend using a Solar Siphon mod to make orbs with your Tommy's matchbook or whatever solar weapon you're using, or even just throwing on an additional Ashes to Assets mod so you triple stack them and get even more super energy. For arms, we have Firepower to make us orbs when we get defeats with our grenades. We're going to be getting a ton of defeats with our grenades, so we're going to be making a ton of orbs, which again will help us get our super back and feed into our mod system. Impact Induction, where damaging with our melee will reduce our grenade cooldown, which again is very nice with a grenade based build. Bolstering Detonation, grenade damage will grant us class ability energy, which again is very helpful with survivability in combination with Ember of Resolve and all the things that we have feeding back into our grenade. On my chest, we're just running Charged Up for the additional stacks of armor charge and our resist mods. You can always swap out the resist mods for whatever you want. On my legs, we have stacks on stacks, so our orbs count as 2 stacks of armor charge instead of the 1. I also took a double stack of Solar Weapon Surge to make Tommy's matchbook hit a little harder and to get the max stack of death throws a lot quicker, because we're going to be able to kill a lot more things a lot more easily. And finally, on our bond, we have Reaper, so we can get an orb after defeating something when we place our rift. And finally, I have a double stack of Bomber just to get us that extra grenade energy. All in all, this build is extremely good and extremely potent. Even next season, it should be pretty good, minus obviously we're not going to have the same artifact mods to help us get an additional firebolt grenade or even get stacks from using a fire sprite, even though we are getting a mod that makes it so when picking up a class item, one of those class drops, whether it be a void breach or a fire sprite, we have a chance to get a stack with armor charge. Granted, this is easy, guaranteed 1-for-1, but again, this build should hold up pretty nice next season, so keep that in mind. I am sad though because I did learn about this at the last possible minute, but that's fine, as honestly a new season is great, new content. I'll be streaming a lot more when that new season drops with the new content, so keep an eye out for that. And with that, that is the end of our entire video. So again, like, comment, and subscribe to keep up the support. Check out the links down in the description. Come by our Discord to have a chance for that giveaway when I hit 1,000. I'll see you guys in the next video.